Good evening and welcome to this edition of The Big Fight. Usually, the big fight is among the various stakeholders. But in this episode, it is that moment of the year again where we get you this programming of a big fight against pollution to find the big pollution solution. While our intention is always to get you that solution, the problem is that as there is a steady increase in the suspended particulate matter, what is contributed to this polluted air is also another form of SPM, suspended political matter, where you will have different political stakeholders blaming one another, not really finding a pollution solution. As a result of which, year after year, you've got that SPM meter, the PM 2.5 and PM 10, continuously increasing. The same thing is happening right now. If you look at the North Block and South Block, you can see that this fantastic lighting, you can see a ray of light. As sad as it sounds, this is not really a ray of light. This is a ray of despair, because that what you see is pollution. I would like to begin with Jaydhar Gupta. He's an environmentalist who has this meter which measures the level of pollution right here. 478. Mr. Gupta, this is a figure which is supposed to be 50, and I have to say this is a very disturbing mask that you're wearing.
Sanket, levels up to 300 are air pollution. Once the levels exceed 300, it's not air pollution anymore, it's chemical and biological warfare. So the state of our environment right now demands emergency measures. This is my emergency measure. I have bronchial asthma. I used to be a sports person, and I'm not anymore because my lungs are damaged, irreparable damage. It is what it is. That's why this is personal to me. That's why I'm here. And that's why, I became an environmentalist.
And the meter right now, Azam is going to show you, shows us that the pollution right now as we speak, on Vijay Chowk, this is the place where 150 meters away from here is the parliament. The new parliament is being constructed. About
lot of construction happening around.
2 to 300 meters away are the iconic North Block and South Block, where crucial decisions are taken. And exactly at this place, the pollution level right now is at 488 to be precise. This will only keep on increasing as we enter into the night. And in the days ahead, this could very well cross 999 as well. That's when this machine stops working. There are other machines also which can accurately measure. But it's supposed to be 50, and that figure right now is 480. It's a big reason to worry. Let me quickly introduce our guests. One by one. Onika Mehrotra, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Thank you very much for joining us. Priyanka Kakkar, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, is with us. Surya Maithil, leader of the BJP. Thank you very much, Mr. Maithil, for joining us. These are the political stakeholders. We'll ask a lot of questions of them. We also have Dr. Shailesh Jain, ICMR scholar, chairman of Universal Hospital in Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Nidhi Jha, senior consultant of the Madhukar Rainbow Hospital. Thank you very much. Jaydhar Gupta we've already spoken to. Vivek Chattopadhyay is the senior program manager of Center for Science and Environment. We also have Manoj Sharma, who's a concerned parent, and Kompal, who's Manojji's daughter, suffers from asthma, and this is definitely a big reason of worry for you, this situation. I would also like to welcome Ramneesh Vats, Yog Guru. How can we look at yoga as a possible solution? The focus of this broadcast will be to look at these solutions. And through the course of the broadcast, I would urge you to make certain decisions. At least ask yourself, were people able to give you that solution or not? Were they able to do it? Let's start the big fight. I want to begin with you, Priyanka Kakkar, first, because Aam Aadmi Party is the party in power in Delhi. We are standing in the national capital. This is where a bulk of the discourse around pollution happens. When the Aam Aadmi Party 7 years ago was in power, it still is. it kept saying that this is parali or stubble which is being burnt from nearby states. It's not a pollution that has been created by us. Now you are in power in Punjab. Latest figures show that parali pollution is very high in Punjab. Even now, who do you blame now?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sanketji also. We are not shifting blame anywhere. We take the responsibility for Punjab, we take the responsibility for Delhi, but I also have NASA satellite images with me which will clearly show that yes, there was, this much was the parali burning in Punjab last year, and this is what it has come down to. There's a 35% reduction, and these are images I'm showing, not data. It is available online on NASA website. So it is not, it cannot.
How do you
be
know it's 35%? Sorry.
Because there was one report whose name I can't recall at the moment, but that is what it suggested. Also, we've only taken over Punjab in the past 6 months. We've set up a biomass plant there. We are also in process. See, it's been 6 months. We are not satisfied with where we are. We are constantly working on these issues.
Share the details of biomass
please, sir. You have no.
I'll come to you. Methilji, I'll just come to you.
You have. It's in Sangrur, sir. You can check it. You have no moral authority to speak on this issue. We've been asking you consistently for a meeting, sir. We have.
Mr. Methil, I'll come to you. One moment.
This is what they do. This is what they do. They want to divert the topic. They don't want to take the onus. They only know how to change names of the cities, and they think the solution is arrived at. So yes. So when it comes to long-term measures, we have ensured that the 1600 industries in Delhi have now switched to PNG fuel or biomass fuel. We have ensured that there are 7320 CNG buses and electric buses which have been added to the fleet in Delhi. We have ensured that there is a 24/7 electricity model taking out the need for generators and
Priyanka ji, and yet after 7 to 8 years, we are still at 480 PM 2.5, which will only increase.
Let me please finish one thing. I agree with you. See now, yesterday at NDTV there was a specialist who also mentioned that right now that from Delhi the pollution is 60%, and from the neighboring areas it is 40%, which is coming into Delhi. That is what an expert on your show said yesterday and on Vishnu Somji show. So I am again requesting, because you see the situation is as grim in Faridabad. If you look it up, it's severe today. You look at all the neighboring areas. You look at Noida, it's as grim. It is very important because air doesn't know any boundaries. We've been asking them for a meeting. Gopal Rai ji is asking them for a meeting repeatedly, writing letters to them, but there is no answer.
Okay. Mr. Surya Prakash Mehta of the BJP. Just picking up from that last point that Priyanka Kakkar mentioned. The Delhi Environment Minister wants a meeting, wants an audience with the central government, right? One would expect that if this is a crisis, you admit this is a crisis, this is a problem, environmental crisis.
Knows
you
this
know
is the crisis,
this is
very
a
big crisis.
Correct. Okay. Does it not make sense for the central government to initiate an immediate meeting? The Prime Minister can chair that meeting, or he can set up a group of ministers, or call the various chief ministers of concerned states and have regular meetings with regular follow-up. One would expect something like this. Is this too much to ask for, Mr. Mehta?
Sanket bhai, Aam Aadmi Party always play a blame game. Before Punjab elections, they always blame on Punjab. Parali hai. Just because of that, Delhi में pollution है. ये थेम्स नदी बोलकर गंदे नाले में कुदा दिए हैं दिल्ली को और पंजाब को. At this moment, Aam Aadmi Party don't have any policy on pollution. When Prime Minister sir become a Prime Minister in 2014, after that, on priority basis, they are looking for pollution. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Delhi Eastern Peripheral, Delhi electrical buses, and many things for Delhi and NCR on pollutions. Second thing, Sanket bhai, they already shifted a pollution issue with now neighboring cities of Delhi NCR now. Punjab से अब shift होके फरीदाबाद, नोएडा.
Mehta ji, मेरा सवाल बहुत ही, my question was very specific. My question was that don't you think, if you admit that this is a crisis, can the central government not initiate a meeting with all stakeholders? Maybe the central environment minister can call a meeting of the state environment ministers, sit and decide what a collective plan needs to be put in place. When was the last such meeting that took place? Where is that meeting right now? if this is a crisis according to you?
संकेत भाई, दिल्ली के लिए सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने जितना किया है एनवायरमेंटल के लिए,
मीटिंग
सुन तो लीजिए पूरी बात को, आप सुनिए तो जी, आप
because I know what you're saying.
मीटिंग से सॉल्यूशन नहीं मिलेगा।
कैसे नहीं मिलेगा?
सबसे पहले जो सॉल्यूशंस होने चाहिए थे दिल्ली के अंदर, वो सॉल्यूशन तो इन्होंने किए नहीं। इन्होंने दिल्ली की यमुना जी को कहां पहुंचा दिया? गंदा नाला बना दिया। ये पॉल्यूशन जो है एक दिन का मैटर नहीं है।
Exactly, which is why. Tell me, how do you find solutions? You talk. Where do you talk? In meetings. That is why I'm asking you. Don't you think that there should be a meeting called by the central government of all the stakeholders? Take stock, take control of the situation. That's my only
already central government doing very well on pollution. We are provide 150 buses in electric buses in Delhi. उसके ऊपर अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने अपनी फोटो चिपका के घुमा रहे हैं।
and limited question meeting, sir meeting.
सर उसके ऊपर भी वर्कआउट चल रहा है और बहुत जल्दी आपको रिजल्ट्स मिलेंगे। ग्राफ फोर लागू हुआ है।
You admit
केजरीवाल जी नॉट इन दिल्ली, he is in Gujarat. Basically give the free bites to Gujarat peoples. क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ चुनाव है, उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता दिल्ली की स्थिति क्या है।
Sure, ओनिका जी, चुनाव तो अब एमसीडी का दिल्ली में भी है, बट आई डोंट नो वेदर पोल्यूशन विल बिकम एन इशू और नॉट. डू यू थिंक दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम? नाउ सी, इफ आई आस्क यू दीज क्वेश्चंस, यू हैव नॉट बीन इन पावर इन दिल्ली or at the center for a while, so you generally through the course of discourse the Congress party takes this position that we did this, we did that, but where is that collective decision? There's pollution happening in Rajasthan as well, there's pollution happening everywhere. No state can claim, particularly in North India, that we're very satisfied with the pollution levels. Mr. Vivek, I'm going to come to you. You can perhaps shed some more light on this.
Sanket, remember 15 years we were also in power. I mean, you people just say that you are not in power. Yes, we are not in power. It's
no,
okay.
Not now. Yes, you
Acceptable.
were there earlier. Correct.
But looking at the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, Sanket ji, they have plundered and destroyed Delhi. The world-class city that Sheila ji had made, they've destroyed it completely. I mean, look at the level what ma'am started with when she entered in 1998-99. It was in a pathetic condition when she took over. But there was a zeal and there was a collective decision. You keep on saying there was a collective effort and constant meeting with the MCD commissioners were taking place. Tell me on record, how many MCD commissioners meeting has taken with Mr. Kejriwal? None whatsoever. And hence, this question will be arising and hence you will keep having debates. So the point comes here is that there's no political will between both the parties. One, again, I will repeat, a suit-boot ki sarkar, and one continuously stay imandar. Beyond that, no vision, no focus, sir, except of quoting some kind of amount that they have spent, and the result, a big zero. This is what is happening.
My question to you again, do you feel that there should be a meeting initiated by the central government to find a pollution solution? At least get the stakeholders.
Absolutely. I think the Prime Minister has been doing it. At least I have seen the CM being called by the Prime Minister. The issues might be different. But yes, the central government has taken initiative of calling all the chief ministers, irrespective.
In other cases?
In other cases. But for this, I think it should be the topmost priority. Unfortunately, the Gujarat election and then down the line, the MCD election, the code of conduct is in place. I doubt, sir. And we're going to stand here next again complaining of the same issues.
Okay, well, I want to go across to Kompal. Would you like to tell us about what problem you face and how it gets aggravated this time of the year?
I would say that first, as sir said, he used to be a sports person and now he couldn't because of his bronchial asthma. Even I used to love to sing. I wanted to learn professionally singing, but as soon as I got asthma, my lung capacity went zero. So I got to left both my singing and my sports. It's just sad to see that the pollution has a even more depressing effect than smoking. Even my generation who all does like partying and vape, it has even worse effect on that. The problem I'm facing is constant. Even every day after school in the evening, I'm on my nebulizer intake, which is both time consuming and very hard.
How many minutes of nebulizing in a day?
I would say at least an hour and half an hour.
Half an hour every day?
Half an hour every day. And I would say when it comes to closing the schools, sir, I'm a 10th grader and for us boards is a very important exam. So closing the schools will be both affect I don't know what will affect on the pollution, but it will severely affect on our studies, closing for a week or a 2 week or a month or a year. So the school was closed in the COVID time also, but we couldn't see a single change during the COVID time as well.
Manojji, I mean, as a concerned parent, I'm pretty sure that you're really concerned listening to Komal's plight. But how do you solve this situation? I mean, what do you do? Leave the city?
No, that is not a solution
Not a
to
solution.
leave the city. What I suggest, look, whenever the crisis arrived or whenever the problem comes, there are 2-3 ways to solve it. One is short term, middle term and the long term. As far as short term solution is concerned, I have got the clue from my all respected political leader, irrespective of BJP or Congress or even though Aam Aadmi Party. Reverie culture freebies. I just request them for short-term solution, please provide free N95 mask and air purifier to every Delhiite. As a citizen, this is my demand. And the second demand for a long-term or middle term or medium term that you have suggested for meeting and all that, all kind of, chorus word they were talking about, we should take it as a manifesto. Thanks to Arvind Kejriwal ji to bringing education and health on the platform. Thank to Modi ji to bring Swachhata. Thank to other political leaders also to bring in such things on the platform, and other party have to compel to
On the
play.
electoral agenda.
Yeah, play to the on their pitch.
Okay.
So this way the pollution can be sorted, or otherwise we are ready to die as soon as possible, depending upon the severity of the pollution.
So, Mr. Manoj here says that you want to win elections, this is what you need to give to the people. I'll come to the political stakeholders in just a short moment on what they feel. But Vivek Chattopadhyay, you see this entire area, Delhi and along the Himalayas, the plains, you always see that this is a condition. We have lived with this reality of fog. It has been a great blessing also. It gets in migratory birds. But when fog turned into smog, that's where the problem began. Now you were telling me just a short while ago that similar conditions have existed, climate conditions have existed elsewhere also in other parts of the world, and certain solutions have been arrived at. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about it?
See, one of the classic example is like how the California Air Resources Board, California is surrounded by mountains and high level of smog happens there. And they
Much like Delhi's condition.
even much worse because they had the chemical kind of a smog, because ozone was also formed.
Right.
Here right now we have a concern of particulate matter in a large range. Ozone is also becoming concern in summer part of the year when we don't talk about smog, but ozone is there, which is very deadly gas. So at this point of time, like how they have dealt, the reason is like they have got very stringent standards on all the sectors, industries, vehicles, and that is the reason we call that emission standards, regulations are very important to follow. Unfortunately, in our country, our governments are not able to rise above party politics. So governments are duty bound to reduce air pollution, ensure clean air, and right to life. The Supreme Court always invokes Article 21. So why can't the governments take cognizance of the existing laws and regulations and ensure that at least the clean air is provided, because millions of people, particularly children, are affected, and government's own data, Central Pollution Control Board carried out a study, and they found along with the CNCI, Chittaranjan Cancer Research Institute, that 45% of the school going kids in Delhi have lower lung function. So when they become adult, there are high chances they will develop respiratory symptoms.
Correct.
So what kind of growth we are taking here without ensuring the clean air? That is my concern.
Okay. Dr. Jain, I want to come to you and perhaps ask you from a medical point of view. Of course, there is that acute situation where people will come with a medical condition, and then you will have to provide the solution accordingly. But to prevent a situation like this till such time that we figure out a solution for this problem, what does one do?
Sanket, year on year, it is just very frustrating and tired that year on year I am coming on your shows and we are just discussing since last 3 years on pollution. I personally feel it is a criminal negligence that we are killing the dreams of a 14-year-old girl. As far as the solution is concerned, if you are talking of acutely, there are only three solutions. First is N95 mask. Second is purchase a air purifier in every room. Change the filters very frequently. And third is don't go outside the home, specifically before 9 a.m. after 4 p.m. These three solutions at present. As far as
what about all these things are very difficult measures.
very difficult, but if you want to save your precious years of the life, then it is very much essential. You have to understand, Sanket, if you are living in this environment for 2 months, you are losing 5 years of your life. And this is not a personal fact, it is the scientific fact. And as far as the condition or for the patient who is already pre-existing disease like diabetes, hypertension, sugar or heart condition or respiratory condition, they are the vulnerable population. Heart failure condition is increasing, heart attack condition is increasing. Why the heart attack is more prevalent in the younger population? This is one of the reasons, because increased pollution causes the increased thrombosis of the arteries, which is the reason of the heart attack. Second, like Jayadrat says, this is not pollution. We have to understand this is a poison which we are taking by a breath, and we have to take the acute solution for this matter.
Okay. Now, 2 or 3 things you said. You said get an air purifier in every room. Now, we all know that is not practical. It is not possible. A good air purifier will cost about 15,000. How will you expect people to set aside 15,000 rupees, and suppose if you have 2 rooms, 30,000 rupees, and then regularly keep it? Maintaining an air purifier is also an expensive proposition. The other option is a mask. Even this mask, a good quality N95 mask, is for 150 rupees minimum. I mean, and this is going to last me how long?
1 day.
1 day.
Only 1 day.
This mask for 1 day, which means my 30-day budget of the mask,
4,500 rupees.
4,500 rupees just for
we have to
mask.
understand, during COVID wave also, if you have COVID score is 23/25, you need a Actimera injection. The cost of Actimera is 45,000 rupees. If you are not able to purchase, you are ready to die. And we have seen the person is dying only because of oxygen is not available, medicine is not available. If you are not able to purchase the oxygen mask, not able to purchase the air purifier, this is your problem. Politician is nowhere to concern about it. This is, you have to make your own arrangement. You want to live extra 5 years, or you want to die early 5 years.
Oh God. You know, I'm going to come back to, before Dr. Jha, I come back to you, the politicians. Mr. Mehtil, MCD का चुनाव आ रहा है. आप और प्रियंका कक्कड़, why don't you make a promise, distribute these masks?
With air purifier.
Manoj ji says with air purifier.
One air purifier.
Sanket bhai, in the opening comment, Monica Kakkad ji showing,
Priyanka Kakkad.
Mrs. Kakkad was showing NASA images. I am showing you today's LG साहब tweet, जिसमें कहा गया है, सुन लीजिए, जिसमें कहा गया है 2021 से ज्यादा पराली अभी जल रही है, और साथ ही साथ जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस दिल्ली के अंदर पॉल्यूशन इस समय एक्सट्रीम पहुंच गया है, और पंजाब के सीएम साहब को रिक्वेस्ट किया है काइंडली डू समथिंग ऑन इट, और सीसी टू दिल्ली के सीएम साहब को जो गुजरात में घूम रहे हैं.
I'm going to ask these questions of Priyanka Kakkad. I want to ask you the following questions. As short-term measures in the national capital, what measures have been taken? You say that a graded response has been implemented.
देखिए, सबसे पहली बात तो आम आदमी पार्टी की प्रदेश सरकार को दिल्ली के अंदर जितने भी 15 साल पुराने वाहन है उनको उसी टाइम सीज करना चाहिए, प्रायोरिटी बेस के ऊपर.
और क्या करना चाहिए?
उसके अलावा पंजाब में जो इनकी सरकार है, जो बड़े बड़े वादे किए, जो कैप्सूल लेके घूम रहे थे, आविष्कार किया हुआ, उसका प्रयोग कीजिए. वहां पर कार्डबोर्ड की फैक्ट्री लगाइए, वहां पर इंडस्ट्रीज को भेज के पराली को खरीदवाइए ताकि पराली ना जले. अगर ये 2 पॉइंट पे काम हो जाएगा संकेत भाई, तो दिल्ली के जो पॉल्यूशन लेवल है उसको कंट्रोल करने में बहुत सहायता मिलेगी. और जिस प्रकार से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में लगातार डीजल के ऊपर कार्य हो रहा है, कि इथेनॉल का प्रयोग हो रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का प्रयोग होने की जो,
अच्छा, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, इस पीरियड में आपको नहीं लगता, एक सेकंड मैथिल जी सुनिए, इस पीरियड में आपको नहीं लगता कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं होनी चाहिए?
सर देखिए, मैंने आपसे क्या कहा, जो एज पर नॉर्म्स है और ग्रैब 4 लागू होने के बाद तो कंस्ट्रक्शन होगा भी नहीं.
अच्छा, जरा लेट्स टर्न द कैमरा अराउंड. वी आर एट विजय चौक. दिस इज पार्लियामेंट. That's the parliament building where work is happening
नहीं हो
regularly.
भाई,
No,
कहाँ
no,
हो रहा है?
one more.
Please,
One
show
moment.
me where.
One moment.
Where is
The
construction
work
is going
happens.
on?
Work happens, and
No.
so you're saying there is no work happening on the new
At
parliament?
this moment, grab 4 के बाद कहाँ हुआ है? बताइए आप मुझे. Grab 4 लॉन्च होने का कहाँ हुआ है?
How do I argue with this person? He's saying that Hardeep Puri ji's, he believes Hardeep Puri ji's tweets over NASA satellite images. One. Secondly, we just
LG
saw.
साहब का tweet भी
Sir,
देख
एक
लीजिए
second
आप.
ना.
You kindly show, kindly see the tweet of LG साहब.
Empty vessels make no more noise.
कहा है कि भैया
Please, you
दिल्ली
have to
को
mute him somehow.
प्लीज बचा लीजिए.
Yeah, one
पंजाब
more.
के
Mehta
मुख्यमंत्री
ji, one
जी
more.
अपने यहाँ पे
One by
पराली जलाने पे रोक लगाइए. दिल्ली का दम घुट रहा है.
In Punjab also, we've just taken over the government, and within the first 6 months, we've set up a bioenergy plant. We are also.
इंडस्ट्रियों ने बायोमास
Sir,
बनाए हैं और ये
please,
उनका
sir.
ओनरशिप खुद ले रही है.
नहीं, आप जाके चेक कर लीजिए.
Okay, okay. Dr. Jha, before I come to you,
40,000 रुपए
before I come to you, one moment. Kompal wants to come in. Mehta
15
ji,
लाख रुपए का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन
उस
करते हैं और
बच्ची को ऐसा
15
है,
करोड़ रुपए का
वो
add
कुछ कहना
करते हैं.
चाहती, वो कुछ कहना चाहती है.
I want
हाँ,
to say something
one
to
more.
Kopal before that.
I just want to ask, as Sir said, using electric vehicles. Sir, does India have a budget to install the batteries, the chargers for electric vehicles?
We've done it.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
We've done it in Delhi.
बिल्कुल.
They have
We
not done it
have a
anywhere.
big plan
Let me also
on it.
they're doing
On every petrol pump, we have the target to give at least 10 power switches for charging electric vehicle. This is our plan.
हम implement कर चुके हैं.
नहीं ना
एक
implement
चीज
हमने
मैं
दिया
आपको
है.
पता नहीं
150
कहाँ
बसें
किया.
हमने दी
कहाँ
हैं.
किया आपने?
हमने
हमारे
150
पास
बसें दी हैं.
739 तो बस 9
आपने
सर
आम आदमी
मैंने
पार्टी के
दिल्ली में
मुख्यमंत्री
दिल्ली में
को
7 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट
आप
चुने
दीजिए.
और 67 आपके विधानसभा के मेंबर भेजे हैं. आप दोनों मिलके हमें शॉर्ट टर्म मेजर में N95 मास्क दे दीजिए. लगाते रहिए चार्जर बैटरी जो करना है आपको करते रहिए. वो
एक मेरे को I want to assure Kopal through your show.
N95 मास्क
No.
और एयर प्यूरिफायर.
Even-
एक पौवा फ्री दिया था. इनसे बोलिए ना हर व्यक्ति को
I need an
ये एक
educated
के संग
person to
एक
speak
मास्क
with.
फ्री दे दे. जिस प्रकार इन्होंने शराब पॉलिसी बनाई थी एक पे एक पौवा फ्री दिया था उसी प्रकार से ये जो है
आप
मास्क शुरू कर दे.
आप प्योरीफाई कर दीजिए ना. अपने
देखिए,
MCD
संकेत
चुनाव
भाई,
में मास्क दे
फ्री
दीजिए.
बाइट्स का प्लेयर आम आदमी पार्टी है.
अच्छा,
मैं
ये
इनसे
रेवड़ी
बोलना
हो गई.
चाहता हूं, मैं इनसे
मा-
बोलना
मास्क
चाहता हूं,
रेवड़ी है.
इस प्रकार से ये आम आदमी पार्टी के लोग शराब के अंदर एक
मास्क
पे
रेवड़ी हो
फ्री
गई.
दे रहे थे.
मास्क
अभी भी पौवा फ्री दे देना.
There's too much noise pollution right now. I am assuring Kopal through your show that there will be no, at least when it comes to stubble burning, we've only just taken over the government, but in 1 year we will make sure that there is no problem of stubble burning coming from Punjab.
sure.
That is 100%.
दिल्ली में क्या होगा?
But at the same
आप
time
दिल्ली
in
का
Delhi,
बताइए.
in
8
Delhi,
साल से आपके
in
पास
Delhi,
दिल्ली है.
Mehta ji,
क्या
please,
किया
can we please have? I want to
show this man. दिल्ली का दम घुट रहा है. Kindly do something for Delhi. Please save the Delhi. पंजाब में पराली जलाना बंद कीजिए आप. पंजाब में पराली जलाना बंद कीजिए.
Solutions.
Yes.
Don't do the shows for
I think that's a very important point that has been made. No, I have to speak to Dr. Jha. Dr. Jha first, please. She's been waiting. Dr. Jha, we heard the doctor over here who said that we are literally wiping off 5 years, right? 5 to 10 years. I want to know from you. You are a gynecologist. This is going to be a problem for almost everyone, even pregnant women. Adding further complications. So, when on a daily basis people come to you for advice, what do you tell them?
See, first of all, whenever you get pregnant, we have to counsel that your immunity goes down a little bit to make the baby survive inside you. So keep how much ever you can be inside your house. Inside your house means indoors. As Sir said, an air purifier, whatever I am talking about is about the measures we can do for ourselves, and N95 mask as said, and you have to change it every day if you are going out. The very important thing that you have to increase the nutrition. Nutrition is very important for pregnant females. Nutrition, your protein and vitamins. Vitamin C is a very good antioxidant. Protein gives you resistance to fight anything. You should increase your diet. Diet should be good in protein and.
So I think some of these solutions have a lot to do with what we were told to practice during COVID also.
Yeah. Most of there also we were talking about improving immunity and being indoors. Here also at this moment.
But you know,
if
Dr.
they
Jha,
can-
I've heard from a lot of doctors who say indoor pollution is also
Yes,
equally a big cause of
indoor pollution is lesser in our urban urban middle class population where the cooking is not on biogas or indoor pollution we generally talk about when we use bio like we used to use gobar ka chula and lakdi ka chula. So that was more. Even and exhaust have a very good role.
Correct.
So that they use it.
Sure.
And very importantly, whenever you plan of getting pregnant, whenever you are planning for pregnancy, you should rule out all the infectious diseases, whatever. Pre-pregnancy screening is very, very important. Your weight should not be very high when you are planning to get pregnant. You should be screened of diseases, and your nutrition level should be good. You should have a good exercise regime. So these things are important. Normal, the things which are healthy for other people, the same should be done for the pregnant.
Jaydar Gupta wanted to come in. Yeah.
I just want to talk about that indoor air pollution point. So indoor air pollution is 5 to 10 times worse than outdoor air pollution. So when our chief minister today was saying stay indoors, basically he's talking about limiting activity. But if you're indoors, don't be under the misconception that you're safer indoors than outdoors because the air quality inside your house is clean. Okay. You're talking about with the purifiers, yeah. If you don't have a purifier, so, all our materials that we use in our construction, in our homes, everything of gases. We have made our living environments absolutely toxic, okay? And we are living in these, environments that are going to give us cancer and all these things. I mean, this is a whole different subject. I think we need to have a different panel discussion on this. But switching gears for a moment, I just want to say that this is not only a Delhi problem. This extends all the way on the Grand Trunk Road from Punjab to West Bengal. I was talking to certain people, some celebrities in Bombay today. The AQI in Bombay is 200. It has nothing to do with Parali. But I've seen 5 to 6 years, there's a layer of smog all across the Bombay skyline. I want to appeal to my influencer celebrity friends in Mumbai. Your hair, skin, your voice, everything you do for a living is going to change if you don't enter this fight. So I need everybody to be joining this fight and forcing change, because that's the only way. That's the only way.
We have to talk on all India level.
Correct.
We can't always keep
I think that is a very, very important point. Very, very important point, which is why I had asked this question of Mr. Mehtil.
Today in Delhi can happen after some years in villages.
Which is why I asked this question of Mr. Mehtil. Why not have a national level meeting? Why not have a meeting at the national level where you call all the stakeholders, make it a regular feature? Is that happening? Well, we have not got the answer for that. I want to also bring in Ramneesh Vatsji. आप योग guru हैं, and I want to know from you, what solutions does yoga have to offer to strengthen your lungs, which is a huge cause of concern at this time?
Sanket ji, we know yoga comes through union, and which means, as a Sanskrit word, yuj. Yuj means jorna, union, unity. And same thing happened, this happened by PM Modi ji. PM Modi ji also, unite almost 177 countries.
Request for yoga. Yeah.
Okay. They offered yoga and they accept it. Do we accept it as a priority basis as a Indian? Of course not. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने अब तक योग को एक एक्सरसाइज तक समझा है. बट इसके अलावा योग एक्सरसाइज तक सीमित नहीं है. योगा इज अ मीन्स ऑफ हार्मोनाइजिंग बॉडी, माइंड एंड इमोशन. इट वर्क्स ऑल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ द पर्सन, either physical, mental, emotional and spiritual development. But thing is, we need to practice of it. Then we can look to strengthen our immunity. Then we can look strengthen to our physical or emotional or mental development. And it is very required for all of us. Now we are looking at small child because उनकी immunity उतनी strong नहीं होती. उनके लिए कौन से योगाभ्यास किए जा सकते हैं जो उनके लिए उपयोगी साबित हो सकता है कि इस तरह के दूषित वातावरण में हम सब जानते हैं. जैसा कि ताड़ासन का अभ्यास जो है, खास करके भुजंगासन, ये बहुत ही ज्यादा सरल अभ्यास माने जाते हैं. उष्ट्रासन का अभ्यास है. ये सारे अभ्यास सीधे हमारे वक्षस्थल को,
अगर कोई अभी शुरू करेगा, रमनीश जी, अगर कोई अभी शुरू करेगा, ऐसा थोड़ी है कि अभी मैं एकदम स्वस्थ हो जाऊंगा.
we are looking the solution. See, we are looking the solution.
Sorry?
Right.
Yoga comes under lifestyle modification.
Which is
आपको
something
lifestyle,
that
हाँ,
which is
वो
something that
आपको
an individual can do.
Exactly.
Yes, that is what.
So it's
So
not
Sanket ji, thing is we need to practice of it. जब तक हम प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे तब तक हमें आभास नहीं होगा कि हाँ उसका लाभ क्या होता है. जब तक आप पानी में डुबकी नहीं लगाएंगे तब तक आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि हाँ उसमें गहराई, नदी की गहराई कितनी है. तो वैसे योग को आपको उतरना पड़ता है, उसको प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है. जैसा कि मैं बच्चों की बात कर रहा था, इम्यूनिटी की बात कर रहा था, बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है कि सूर्य नमस्कार एक कंप्लीट पैकेज माना जाता है. क्योंकि हम सब जानते हैं कि आप कोई व्यायाम करते हैं उसमें सांसों का कोई आदान प्रदान मतलब उसका ध्यान नहीं होता है. यहाँ पे क्या है होता है कि हम ब्रीदिंग कॉन्शियसनेस रखते हैं. जब हम अभ्यास का योगाभ्यास खास करके करते हैं तो उसमें सांसों का और सांसों का ही सबसे बड़ा रोल अदा होता है हमारे जीवन के लिए. हम सब जानते हैं कि पानी के बिना भी हम रह सकते हैं 1 से 2 दिन तक, भोजन के बिना भी हम 1 सप्ताह तक, लेकिन आज जो हम देखते हैं ब्रीदिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल फॉर आवर लाइफ. तो उसके लिए कपाल भाती क्रिया, उसके लिए ही मैं कह रहा हूँ कपाल भाती क्रिया एंड भस्त्रिका प्राणायाम इज हैविंग अ वाइटल रोल फॉर आवर लंग्स कैपेसिटी. फिर दूसरी बात करते हैं कि कुछ आयुर्वेद भी के भी तत्व हैं जो हैं वो काफी ज्यादा कारगर साबित होता है. लेकिन जैसा कि इसके पहले मैंने कहा था कि जो बादाम होता है, बादाम जो खास करके हमारी कंसंट्रेशन के याददाश्त क्षमता के लिए बहुत ही ज्यादा, उसके साथ हम यदि काली मिर्च जो 20 ग्राम 100 ग्राम बादाम लेते हैं, 20 ग्राम काली मिर्च, उसके साथ 60 ग्राम खांड को मिला करके यदि हम उसको पाउडर बना लें और दूध के साथ यदि हम मिश्रित करते हैं, मिक्स करके यदि हम रात्रि में लें, दैट इज वेरी वेरी गुड फॉर आवर इम्यूनिटी. क्योंकि इम्यूनिटी क्या है, एक तरह का डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है हमारे शरीर के लिए. लेकिन आज हम उसको उपयोग करने की जरूरत है. जब हम उपयोग करते हैं, चूंकि देखिए अभी भी लोग हमारे भारत देश में योग के ऊपर खिल्ली उड़ाते हैं, लेकिन आज हमें समझने की जरूरत है कि 177 देश ने अपना लिया योग को, हमने अब तक नहीं अपनाया.
Adopt yoga as a change in your lifestyle to make certain improvement. Yeah.
What I said previously. You had asked me about the source of the data of the 35% decrease in farm fires. It is because around this time last year in Punjab, up to 4 farm fires were seen in 4 lakh hectares of land, and this time it has reduced to 2.95, therefore 35%.
Okay.
That is what I want to clarify.
दिल्ली के एलजी साहब ने जो आज ट्वीट किया है उसमें उन्होंने सीधा सीधा संबोधित किया है पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री जी को कि दिल्ली का दम घुट रहा है, और सीसी में रखा है दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री जी जो गुजरात में विचरण कर रहे हैं फ्री बाइट्स बांटते हुए. तो मेरा कहना सिर्फ इतना है आम आदमी पार्टी के प्रवक्ता से, दिल्ली की जान से मत खेलिए, दिल्ली के लोगों की स्वास्थ्य से मत खेलिए. आपकी सरकार वहां पर है, लगातार आप लोगों ने प्रश्न उठाया पंजाब के पराली जलाने पर, और आज आप पराली जलाने को इम्यूनिटी दे रहे हैं कि कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ये बहुत
एक सेकंड, I have to move on to Vivek ji. I'll give you a right to reply. See the problem is that this can continue for many hours. And we will not achieve. We will not reach some meeting ground. Yeah, Vivek.
I think we have to be very serious about the health impacts of the air pollution. And when we talk about breathing exercises, walking, cycling, what we are inhaling, our inhaling capacity is actually too much of pollutant goes into the lungs. I think that is the dangerous part.
At present, exercise is not advisable.
And children's playing outside in this environment, it's very dangerous. So I think we should not divert the topic that if exercising, definitely it will help a lot. But at the same time, there should be clean air. When we talk about improving walking and cycling in the city, that walkers and cyclists breathe high level of vehicular fumes.
Correct. And most of these people go exercising either early in the morning or in the evening, and that is when, in a time like this, they should not.
We have done the exposure monitoring, sitting in the auto rickshaw while cycling, while walking, and what we have seen that the exposure level of PM 2.5 is much higher than what our stations record. So I think we should be very concerned about the exposure level of the people.
So what does this mean? The bulk of the activity in the afternoon?
The golden period, that if you look at the air quality curve, 3 to 4 p.m. time is relatively less. Thereafter it starts building up. So during morning hours it is very high. So it's a kind of curve. So
imagine how limiting this is, to limit all your outdoor activity from 3 to 4. For many, this is the time for like a afternoon nap.
Ultimately create pollution again. You know, people are coming out at the same time. Now,
And the tricky
Sanket
part is the ozone,
Yeah.
which is not as a concern during the winter period. During summer time, during 2 p.m. it builds up very high. So when your school kids are going back to home, that point of time you may think that it is clean, but ozone is invisible. And you are breathing very high dangerous level of ozone. So I think there are various gaseous pollutants.
Ozone is more dangerous than
That is
particulates.
a real poison.
So there are 12 pollutants which government regulates. There are several other air toxics. So I think we should be more scientific in air pollution control. We should not get into like I would say that there has to be a scientific approach, and at high level parliament should be discussing this issue at this point of time. In other countries there would be an emergency meeting that this kind of air quality people are breathing. Here there is no concern. So I think it's a really concerned issue.
How many people over here, let me, quick poll over here. How many people here feel that the parliament must intervene? That the parliament must intervene and there must be action at that level. A discussion, extraordinary. Why do you think that the parliament should not intervene? आपने हाथ ही ऊपर नहीं किया. एक सेकंड.
मुझसे पूछा था.
मैंने सब लोगों से पूछा. मैंने पूछा.
साहब तो ऑलरेडी काम कर ही रहे हैं. जब से उन्होंने सत्ता संभाली है, स्वच्छ भारत अभियान हो जाए, चाहे आप डीजल के अंदर एथेनॉल ले लीजिए, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस के ऊपर आप टारगेट कर लीजिए.
मैंने 7 MP और 70 MLA दिए सर. उनके MP और MLA फंड से हमें इमीडिएट एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी मेजर चाहिए मुझे. वी आर ऑन ICU सर. इस वक्त मुझे आप हल्दी और बादाम और एक्सरसाइज मत बताइए प्लीज. आई एम ऑन ICU बेड. आप मुझे N95 और प्यूरिफायर दीजिए अपने MP और MLA फंड से. बात खत्म. उसके बाद लॉन्ग टर्म प्रॉब्लम देखी जाएगी.
सरकार जिस प्रकार से, मैं तो एक सजेशन है मेरा दिल्ली सरकार को कि जिस प्रकार से आपने एक पे एक बोतल फ्री दी है दिल्ली के अंदर हर गली में ठेका खोलकर, आप क्यों नहीं N95 मास्क को भी
I have a request to the BJP since they're not understanding any sense. You know, tell them to create a wall around Faridabad so that the air doesn't enter from there. At least do that. They're not ready for a meeting.
Okay, one by one, please. Please, one more. Yes, one by one, please. You wanted to say
Sanket, it's not only the parliament at this point. This is a human rights issue. This is equivalent to mass genocide. I'd like to appeal to the WHO. I'd like to appeal to the United Nations. I would like an international intervention because nothing is being done. I'm on this panel for the 8th year. Nothing is being done in 8 years. We have this situation every year. This is not a emergency that has caught us with our pants down. This emergency happens every year between Dussehra and Holi, like clockwork. This is a planned emergency that nobody wants to deal with. What are we talking about? Parliament getting involved? This requires an international intervention. I'm very glad that somebody has put in a suit in the Supreme Court today. Hopefully something will come out of it. But I don't think this leadership can handle it. I've seen what I've seen over the last 8 years. These people are not capable. I don't trust them. I don't think anybody with half a brain watching this show would vote for them. I mean, I seriously doubt it.
Okay. Strong words, but yeah.
Sanket bhai, one thing is very clear. This year we have to lose another 2 or 3 years of our precious life. No, neither BJP nor Aam Aadmi Party or Congress can improve the condition. But my folded hand request to both the parties, at least take some serious decisions, some serious measures, so that next year we should not face this situation. इस साल तो आपको और मुझे एयर प्योरीफायर और मास्क के साथ ही रहना पड़ेगा. ये बिल्कुल समझ लीजिए आप. आप कितना भी सॉल्यूशन कर लीजिए.
कितने लोग रहेंगे डॉक्टर साहब?
उतना जो नहीं रहेगा वो दिल्ली कम करेगा. घर में जाके
नहीं,
आपके कार्यकर्ता है आपके पास.
स्थिति ये है कि गरीब लोग वो कहाँ से अफोर्ड कर पाएंगे? वो मर रहे हैं. जो हम कहते हैं वर्क फ्रॉम होम कौन कर सकता है? हर व्यक्ति कर सकता है क्या? नहीं कर सकता. लोग बाहर जाएंगे, काम करेंगे, वो एक्सपोजर ले रहे हैं, एयर पोल्यूशन से अफेक्टेड हो रहे हैं. मेरे ख्याल से सरकार का और सारी सरकारों का पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स से ऊपर उठ के दे आर ड्यूटी बाउंड टू टेक.
I want to ask you, do you think that these graded response action plan works?
This works in the emergency situation for a short period of time. For example,
this is an emergency.
You stop the vehicles today. You will immediately see a drop in PM 2.5. But you cannot stop your economic activity for a long period of time. So that is the reason it is taken for a very short period of time to see
like
some
a day or
breathing
2 days,
space.
3 days.
Some breathing space
Okay.
you get.
See, Sanket, the graded response action plan is a reaction to an emergency. I don't want an emergency in my town. Why should we allow the emergency to happen? The solution is very simple. Mexico City, Paris, Turkey, I mean poor countries have also, Beijing, they've solved these problems. Why can't we solve the problem?
Okay. You wanted to come.
No, we can't compare with international level, sir, because India has its own problem. See, remember, Sanket, Delhi is rich in human resources, but not in natural resources. We have to depend on others, and hence the constant bickering has led us to this. The BJP is for 8 years, the AAM for 6 years, and not a single constructive step ahead towards it. That's a plea. If they would have taken, hold on, ma'am. If they would have taken one constructive step, I think we wouldn't have been discussing it here. Look at the levels today, it's increased further. Imagine you making us doing debate here and making us inhale such poison gases. So no, it's not, why should we? We want free air. As they are giving free electricity and free pani and whatnot. Why don't they provide us that too? It's high time, it's their responsibility. They have come with that kind of promises, tall promises, Sanket bhai. Let them get down to ground realities. It's sad.
You were talking about graded response. Why do you feel it doesn't work?
Sir, graded response, whenever we are talking about pollution, we are talking about pollution only in this part of year. Only around Diwali, only after Dussehra, we start talking about it. And as soon as the fog goes, the smog goes, we all forget about it. Being not only politicians, we general population, we don't talk about it. That's why it has not been taken care of. Till now, he has been continuously saying that I have been in this panel since last 8 years. 8 years is a big time. We have developed vaccine of COVID in 1 year, within a year. We can't have the solution of this problem. So graded response, yes. At this moment, you can do something about it, but no, we'll have to work around it the whole year. And yes, right now it's a disaster, so we'll have to work as disaster management.
Okay, I'm going to spend the next few minutes very quickly to ask and attempt one more time to the political class and the political representatives here to give us 2 or 3 sharp and quick solutions where they can work together to solving this problem. Maithil ji, मैं आपसे शुरू करता हूँ.
संकेत भाई,
in your wisdom, the 2 or 3 things that can be done collectively by the political fraternity.
दिल्ली के कंसर्न में अगर हम बात करें तो दिल्ली के अंदर इस समय आम आदमी पार्टी को कॉल लेनी चाहिए. दिल्ली के अंदर 15 साल पुराने वाहनों के ऊपर लगाम लगानी चाहिए और साथ में जो पंजाब के अंदर इनकी सरकार है और जो लंबे लंबे इन्होंने वादे किए थे उन वादों को एग्जीक्यूट करने का समय है. दिल्ली का दम जो पंजाब की पराली से घुट रहा है उस पर लगाम लगाने के लिए दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गुजरात से बाहर आकर दिल्ली और पंजाब पहुंचना चाहिए. वहां पर कहना चाहिए मुख्यमंत्री जी को कि कृपया करके पराली ना जलाएं.
बहुत अच्छे एडवाइस है. हम सबको पता है सर. आप अपनी बात करो, आप सब अपनी अपनी पार्टी की बात करिए कि आप क्या करेंगे. We are sick of this. I don't want to hear your pollution. The words coming out of your mouth are all pollution. I don't want any more pollution.
आपने 3 दिन पहले 3000 मकान दिए दिल्ली के अंदर स्लम डेवलपर्स को, वो कहाँ से दिए सर? आप तो कुछ इस पे भी सोचिए ना.
आप लोगों का बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं यार. सोल्यूशन दीजिए. बीजेपी क्या करेगी ये बताइए आप.
बच्ची को देखिए मैथिली जी.
बीजेपी क्या कर रही है और क्या किया है? भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने स्वच्छ भारत अभियान चलाया है, देश के अंदर इलेक्ट्रिक को प्रमोट किया है, देश के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को किस प्रकार डेवलप किया है. सुन लीजिए पूरी बात को सर.
क्या करेंगे? अभी इमरजेंसी लेवल है. आप आज क्या करेंगे मेरे को ये बताइए.
पॉल्यूशन का मेन पॉइंट क्या है इस समय में? आप मुझे बताइए दिल्ली का मेन पॉइंट क्या है? 32% जो पॉल्यूशन बढ़ा है वो
पराली से बंगाल तक की बात कर रहा हूँ.
पराली से इस समय में जो पॉल्यूशन बढ़ा है पंजाब की पराली से बढ़ा है.
Maithil ji, one by one, what are you going to offer as a solution?
See, now I feel standing in this panel that I am not very आशावादी नहीं हूँ मैं बहुत ज़्यादा जैसा मुझे environment लग रहा है. So what I feel that we should decrease the school population. They are the affected most population. So now I feel that the festival leaves should be decreased, festival holidays should be decreased, and we should start a new holiday called pollution holiday. Because as the child said that the class
Don't you think that's already happening? I mean, circulars are out.
but it's affecting their studies.
Let's create a pollution god also, and let's make it official. We are so good at creating gods. Let's create a pollution god.
It's affecting their studies.
made a
So we
ash.
can decrease
My
that
ash.
if the government is not going to do, and if we are not doing, we as a citizen are not doing much. We are supposed to do much more than this. We should follow the rules that one family, one car.
Yeah.
Carpooling.
Yeah.
Use public conveyance. Don't wait for things to come very poor. So what I feel कि अभी तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हर साल हम एयर पोल्यूशन पे स्कूल बंद करवा देते. Why don't we create an air pollution holiday so that
Air pollution holiday. Priyanka Kakkar.
Sanketji, I can only tell you this much about my party, that we are constantly working on the science-based, like sir suggested that the solution should be science-based. We are doing that. Like I said, the industries have converted to PNG. We have also reduced the sulfate component in a few chemicals. One of them being sulfate was adding to the pollution. We are constantly working at it, Sanketji.
You're trying to sound so intelligent.
I'm not.
This is the 8th year that you're working on these solutions, yeah? You haven't reversed pollution by 1%. You have no credibility.
The problem is that I'm okay, tell me how, should I sound like BJP?
I'm sorry, you're telling me you have a magic wand after 7 years. Sorry, this is the 8th year pollution year of your government. कि 9वें साल में हो जाएगा क्योंकि आप इतना अच्छा काम करेंगे अगले साल में. I'm sorry.
Jayadhar ji, I understand.
अभी बताओ आप अभी क्या कर रहे हो यार?
अभी
आज रात को क्या कर रहे हो ये बताओ आप.
1-2 दिन में तो शायद जैसे इन्होंने बोला कि ट्रांसपोर्ट से बोलने तो दीजिए सर. कर रहे हैं सर, लगातार कर रहे हैं. बुलंद हम ही हैं, आपको शक्ल चाहे नापसंद हो, दिख हम ही रहे हैं इस मुद्दे पर. आपने ही कहा ना, उन्होंने
One by one. This is not going to work. No, one more. We come away. Onika, I have to move away from this. Yes.
So let's get to constructive
2 or
steps.
3 suggestions.
Garbage distribution is one. How we're going to dispose the garbage, and then the water. There's no treatment plant for the sewage water. There's numerous things and unabated construction going on, sir. We need to have norms in place, and people have to abide by it, and that's it. But when there's no nomenclature, when there's no control, you can go ahead bribing the MCD, you can go ahead bribing the engineers and get your construction done. You're bound to have pollution. So you're going to check these checks and balances from garbage to water to construction. I'm sure we can find a solution.
I've
sir.
completely run out of time. What I want to say is that I do not know whether next year we are going to have this discussion right here at Vijay Chowk, discussing the reduction in pollution or not. Or are we going to have another discussion on how it has increased? I do not know. I mean, increasingly more and more people, concerned people, feel that they must give up hope now. Should they or should they not? The big fight against pollution should be on every day, every night. Good night and goodbye.